Brian Kemp is running for governor of Georgia, and he made one of the best political ads of all time, or worse, depending on your, ideology. But it's pretty funny either way. Let's watch.
I'm Brian Kemp. I'm so conservative. I blow up government spending. I own guns that no one's taking away. My chainsaw's ready to rip up some regulations. I got a big truck, just in case I need to round up criminal illegals and take them home myself. Yep, I just said that. I'm Brian Kemp. If you want a politically incorrect conservative, that's me.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. So I have a few questions here for Mr. Kemp. First of all, when you say, I'm so conservative, I blow up government spending. But if you blow up government spending, that means that you spend more. I know you're trying to say the opposite, like, I will cut government spending. But when you say, I'll blow up government spending, what that means is you spend a hell of a lot more. And you increase the deficit and the debt. That's what blowing up government spending means. How did nobody point this out? Whoever was in the room determining that ad, why did they decide to use that phrasing? Well, maybe because they actually, like if you look at what the Republicans have done, the tax bill they just passed increases the deficit by over $1 trillion. And that's not me speaking, that's the CBO, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. They just handed a tremendous amount of money to the mega rich, blew up the deficit, and then they act like, what? I know that we've been screaming about how we're against debt and deficits for the past fucking 3 decades, but who cares? As long as it's to give it to our CEO buddies. That's the thing that's so frustrating. These guys pretend like they're for the working man, and then they just do the rich's bidding and do the bidding of corporations. It's so pathetic, but I find it funny that they use that phrase when it means the opposite of what they're trying to convey. I blow up government spending, I'm so conservative. Well, I'm sure that's right. I'm sure you would have voted for those tax cuts and blown up government spending and increased the deficit massively. Then I love the, I got a chainsaw, man. I'm going to rip up regulations with this chainsaw. I never understood the fucking obsession with, like, regulations, man, or regulations. Why would anybody in the middle of the country, if they're on a farm or some shit, how can they be sitting there like, real problem with regulations? I ain't seen anybody else in 4 weeks because I have a plot of land that's 40 miles long, but damn regulations is getting in my way. What are you fucking talking about? What are you talking about? What vague, amorphous regulations are such a problem that if you're in the middle of the country, if you're in Georgia, you're like, goddamn regulations keep getting in my way. What regulations? What regulations exactly? And let's be clear, when the Republicans in Washington actually try to get rid of regulations, it's regulations for Wall Street. So they're trying to help out the rich and powerful. They're not trying to help a farmer or some shit in Georgia. So it's so weird that that's become like, there's nothing that's more anti-populist than getting rid of regulations. But they use it as if it's like a talking point that really strikes a chord. That shit does not strike a chord. What strikes a chord is higher wages, jobs, shit like that. Get rid of the regulations, man. And then the best part is, I got a truck. You like my truck? I got a truck. And yeah, you know what I'm going to do with this truck? I'm going to round up illegals, man. I'm going to round up illegals. Yeah, I just said that. I just said it. Fuck the Mexicans. What? Did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? God, they're so goofy. And just so you know, just so everybody's aware here, they don't realize it, these kinds of characters, but what they're doing is they're waging a class war on behalf of the rich. That's what they're doing. Because the oldest trick in the book is to get poor or middle-class white people to blame poor black and brown people for their problems. And this way, when they do that, the rich can run out the back door with all the money via corporate welfare checks, via a tax bill where 83% of the benefits goes to the top 1%. It's the oldest trick in the book waged by the rich on the middle class and the poor. They get poor and middle-class white people to blame black and brown people for all their problems. And so when a guy like this comes along and says, I'm going to round up the illegals and send them... By the way, if you are a governor in Georgia, you have nothing to do with immigration policy. Nothing. Nothing at all. You have no control over the border. You have no control. You have nothing to do with immigration policy at all. Nothing. If you're a governor in Georgia. But he's running on that issue. And he doesn't even realize it. You're doing the bidding of the elites and the CEOs on Wall Street in a class war without even realizing it because you're so stupid. But the idea of like, I'm going to get all these illegals out of here. That's this guy telling poor and middle-class white people, the brown people and the black people are really the problem, and we're going to get rid of them so that you'll flourish. But what you'll notice is if they actually were to do that, that doesn't have anybody flourish. That tanks the economy and screws everybody over. So really, poor and middle-class white people in reality are on the same team as poor and middle-class black and brown people, and they need to join forces and agree that the problem is the rich who are screwing them and rigging the laws in their favor. People haven't had a raise since the 1980s. That's a matter of public policy. It's the laws in Washington, D.C. that have made it the case. But these guys are too stupid, and they're the useful idiots of the mega rich, and they're blaming poor black and brown people for their problems. So congratulations, Brian Kemp, for being a dumbass. But, you know, hey, I'm sure he's got a shot of winning because this is just the kind of red meat that some people can't get enough of.